Alright folks, September's Reimagined Build is in the planning stages, and the ghost tank is crawling back from the grave. Only this time, it's shambling into something new. We're talking full-on zombie tank. Pictured a battered, broken down Panzer IV F, oozing with rot, rust, and all the charm of a post-apocalyptic buffet. And yes, it's rolling with a crew of zombie tankers, because what's the point of a zombie tank if it doesn't have some half-dead drivers at the controls? So, while you're checking out what comes inside the Tamiya Panzer IV F kit, let's dig into the build itself, and more importantly, the little extra horrors I've got planned for it. Now, the ghost tank was a solid idea, and I'll circle back to that one down the road. The problem was the colors. They were just stubborn, hard to lay down, and never quite looked the way I wanted. I even did a little test run, as you can see here with this dispatch rider. But instead of spooky and spectral, he came out looking like he should be chasing Scooby-Doo around a haunted castle. Not exactly the ghostly vibe I was aiming for. This kit is packing a ton of detail, and since it's one of Tamiya's more recent releases, it's already got a head start on looking good. I've always wanted to tackle a heavy weather desert tank. Now, desert service doesn't really give you much rust to play with, but it does hand you all that sun-baked shipping you could ever want, and lucky for me, this time, I've actually got a reason to go completely overboard with it. Maybe the story goes like this. The crew's out in the desert. They stumble across some ancient burial site, crack open a sarcophagus, and boom. Out comes a curse and a plague, straight out of a bad pulp novel. Okay, probably too much. At the end of the day, it's a zombie tank. Who really knows how the outbreak started? That's half the fun. And that's really the fun part. The sky's the limit here. All those accuracy rules we usually sweat over, out the window. I'll be breaking plenty of them on this one, from the tank itself to the crew's figures. The plan is to twist them into full zombies, and I've already got some ideas cooking. Let's just say it's going to involve a fair bit of cutting, reshaping, and plenty of epoxy putty surgery. The colors don't need to be as wild as that Scooby-Doo test. This time it's all about heavy weathering, plenty of chipping, and of course, some pus-filled boils and other delightfully disease-ridden touches on both the crew and the tank. Yep, I'm shamelessly borrowing a bunch of inspiration from the Warhammer Nurgle world. And honestly, it's exactly the kind of chaos this zombie tank deserves. So, buckle up, because this build is going to get messy, gnarly, and downright disgusting. In the best possible way. And I can't wait to show you how it all comes together. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the chaos. As I go through the parts, I'm already thinking about which ones need a little zombie makeover. For the most part though, it's pretty straightforward build. Of course, I'll go completely off the rails, adding pus-filled boils and other gross disease effects. I won't be going heavy on stowage either. Let's be honest, a zombie driver isn't exactly careful, and most of it would get knocked off anyway. This came out pretty good, but let's be honest, it still looks like the mask could pop off and reveal Mr. Jenkins saying, well, you know. So yeah, the figures are going to be a real challenge. But that's the part of the fun. I'm Italian again. Watching them slowly transform into full-on zombies. Must be my Carro Armato. Still going on, by the way. A random thought just popped into my head. What if this tank wasn't just out in the desert, but actually rising up from the underground? That would mean cutting the tank in half and building it like some buried horror scene. Definitely an idea to keep on the back burner. I'm not really set up for full dioramas right now, and it would take tons of supplies, but hey, who knows, maybe one day. Besides, the hawk is cackling, I really want to show off those pus-filled boils, and I've got a pretty unique way of modeling them. It's going to be awesome to see it in the end, so, well, you know what to do if you want to catch all of that chaos. Of course, I still need to wrap up the Carro Armato and my other August Reimagined Build, which didn't get a lot of traction. But both are moving along nicely. Well, mostly, the Carro Armato hit a little snag when I discovered a bent needle in my airbrush, so I had to swap it out. But don't worry, I managed to salvage the paint job. Yay, the instructions. Everyone loves the instructions. So, if any of you were excited about the ghost tank, don't worry, it's just going zombie first. Later on, I'll revisit some ideas to unscooby it. Does that make sense? Unscoobify it, and get that spooky ghost vibe back. But that builds for another day. Zombies. Who doesn't love them? Apparently this crew. So, looking around on the internet, looking at some pictures, these aren't gonna do. So, got any ideas for this undead tank build? I'd love to hear them. And who knows, I might just sneak your idea into the final product. If you're unfamiliar with the Nurgle world, I don't really know too much about it, but apparently it has pus-filled boils. So yeah, I'll get some ideas for them, and this tank build will begin shortly and will be out in September. So, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and I will see you in the next video.